What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park Live right here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. And again, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Don't make me have to cry about YouTube and the algorithm and all of that good stuff. So, also, in case this is your first time here, what I typically do is I go over some of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and then I get in and interact with all of you wonderful viewers as I go over some of the topics that have happened throughout the week, just things I want to discuss, and we have a really good time. And in case you don't know, this is a primetime show, so we do get a little foul-mouthed over here. So, make sure you turn down the volume, or, kick your kids out of the house and make them go do something and have fun on a Friday night. So, being no different than any other week there, I am going to hop right into some comics, and a couple of things I wanted to talk about here first before I do that, before I talk about the comics I read for the week, was, in case you missed my comic book pull list, I do that every single Wednesday where I talk about the comic books I get for the week. Well, there's a couple that I forgot to get on the list, and that was Loki issue number 3 and Invisible Woman issue number 4. Number 4, right? 3. My bad. But you can see there. Check out that cover right there. Y'all know what that is, right? Yeah, you know what that is. You know what that's. It's off that one Marilyn Monroe movie. You know what I'm talking about. I can't even remember the name of it. But yeah, so I went ahead and picked these up. Now the Loki series, it's been, I don't know. I can't complain about it. It's just there's not really anything to it. It just seems like it's just kind of, I don't know, having fun a little bit. There's not a whole lot of meat and potatoes to this story yet. But we can see that Loki has been facing a new, kind of going out, and he's got a new foe that he's going against, and that is Nightmare. So, we can expect that, they've been kind of bringing this character up a little bit more lately here in the Marvel Universe. So, those rumors about Nightmare being the enemy in the new Doctor Strange film could very well be true and not founded upon, nothing. And then, of course, Invisible Woman, this series has been pretty good. I've quite enjoyed it. Can't wait to read this issue number 3. So I just picked those up on Thursday, actually, so I haven't got a chance to read those. But I do have some other comic books that I read this week, over the week, last weekend. Got some reviews getting ready to drop on those, and those being, one of them is going to be Ice Cream Man issue number 14. Now, if you guys are into like horror thriller type of books, this is definitely a title that you want to check out. I've really enjoyed what's going on in the Ice Cream Man series. Definitely going to add this series to my pull list. Once again, increasing my pull list in the indie department. And, I'm telling you, the big two, they're really starting to, they've got the superheroes and everything, but man, they really need to step up with some of the storytelling in there, which I have to admit, for them, it might be kind of hard when you've got established characters that you got, that people hold so beloved, and, trying to do something different with them is probably not going to resonate with most audiences. So, yeah, like I said, and I'm not sure that I can really count. Does Image really count as being an indie? I'm not really for sure if they do or not. I've heard people arguing and debating that, because they are definitely a smaller press. They're not as big as DC or Marvel, but I would say they're pretty right up there. Now, the next ones that I've got another review dropping for are these two issues right here, and that's Sarah and the Royal Stars. Or is that Sierra? I honestly don't know. I can't really tell you, but I've really quite enjoyed this series. It's pretty good. You can see right there on the cover that this obviously does have a female lead character in it. It's been a very interesting series so far, two issues in, and I've got to tell you something. This book is actually being published by Vault Comics, and I like what they're doing over there at Vault Comics. I can't tell you that I've read an issue out of Vault Comics that I didn't like, and I've read several of them so far. There's been Resonant, has been a really great series. Sarah and the Royal Stars here, and I know there's another one that I picked up on Vault Comics too that I thought was particularly good, called Mall, and I just did a review of that. I believe that dropped last week, so you guys should go check that out. Vault Comics is a small, definitely an indie book that an indie comic book publisher that actually just started publishing books back in 2016, which is something I'm going to talk a little more about here in the show a little bit later on. Now, this week I did just get done reading Powers of X, or some people are just calling it Powers of 10. I honestly don't know. It's an X. It's not a Roman numeral. Come on, Marvel. You need to do something. You need to tell me, what is this? Powers of 10 or Powers of X? I don't know. It drives me mad. But another thing you got to do, stop doing what you're doing here, man. Like, you confused me. The story was building up so good. Like, the past few issues, I've started to notice how Powers of X and House of X were really starting to kind of grow and come into one. And then you toss this issue back in there on me, Jonathan Hickman. You toss this issue in there on me, and, it kind of confuses me a little bit. But I think I know what's going on here. I mean, I think I kind of somewhat get it still, but, you're tossing a monkey wrench back in the plan. You're kind of, I don't know, throwing me off a little bit. But I did like this comic book. Very, very good series going on there. I've got to see if I can get my friend Franklin here onto the channel so we can discuss this a little more. Somebody who could probably talk a little bit more intelligently about the X-Men and exactly what's going on in this book. If you guys don't know who Franklin is, he has a channel here on YouTube called Wildebeard Reviews. You should definitely get over there. Check out his channel. He's been doing some pretty good breakdowns and reviews of this series so far by Jonathan Hickman. Very good series. We are on issue number 4 of Powers of X. There's only 2 issues left, and there are, I believe, 3 issues left on House of X as well. I can't remember how those came out, if we already got number 4 or not. I don't know. It's been confusing because they're just throwing them out there all kind of, just like, not necessarily 1, 2, 1, like, it's been a little bit weird. Definitely a good series. What I've liked what they've been doing in the Jonathan Hickman House and Powers of X, and you can kind of see, just some of the artwork that they have been doing throughout this book. A lot of these books, have the same kind of art in them. I really can't complain about it. Just some really nice stuff. I mean, some of the things I don't like I've talked about this before, how we get all this stuff. You got a whole page wasted on that. Okay, we've got a whole other 2 pages wasted there, another 2 pages, and then you come in here, and then we get these other pages here with this thing right here. Oh, these sinister rumors, rumor mill, woohoo! Okay, talking about some stuff. We got some more stuff. Now, I'm not saying that this stuff isn't relevant or pertinent to the story that's going on, but like, when I see some of these things, I'm just like, come on, man. Like, some of this you can explain through the story. Some of this, just come up with a guidebook. Come up with a handbook that you're going to put out afterward or before, sometime during the middle, to explain some of these things so you don't have to put this extra fluff in these books, therefore raising the price. Because I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but this does have a slightly higher price than most of the other comic books. At coming in, was it $4.99? $4.99, an extra $1, when you could have cut out some of this fluff in there and just gave us a normal book at $3.99. Though they would have probably still charged $4.99 for it anyway. But the thing is, they're charging you $4.99 for extra pages of fluff, not extra story, not anything really, too, I don't know, just too great or anything worth talking about. And that's just, if you ask me, I could be wrong. And maybe when I get somebody who can speak a little more intelligently about this stuff, maybe they can share their insights on it, aside from just mine, because I think, it's just too much. Just too much. Come on, Marvel. Get it together. Now, the next one I want to talk about here is this one right here. Gwenpool. Issue number 2. Gwenpool Strikes Back. Now, you guys know, you guys probably seen me last month talk about the first issue that they did here, and I'm going to talk more about this one. This book is being written by Leah Williams. Is it Leah? Leah? I don't know. Or is it Lee? Leah? I don't know. I'm confused. I mean, I'm sure some people probably pronounce it different, but either way, she's a writer, been doing several titles for Marvel Comics, and I gotta tell you guys, I don't particularly like her writing style. Just, I don't know, especially in this book, because the first issue was just garbage. There's a whole bunch of pages, her being silly, talking about stuff, and like trying to be funny, and it's not funny. Like, the humor falls flat on his face. The whole issue fell flat on its face. This issue was no different. They even try to bring Deadpool in to try to, church it up and make it a little bit funnier and stuff, but there's nothing really funny in this book whatsoever. So what's the point? I mean, we even see half the time where she's just talking about the comic book and trying to come into the Marvel Universe and stay in the 616, and it's... I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know what the point is. There's really no point in this book other than the fact that they wrote a book, they printed a book, and they put it out on shelves to sell. There's no other reason to read this book. It's not funny. And I really don't know what else to say about it without just complete calling it trash. Because, I mean, in the end, that's what it is. It's trash. There's garbage. There's absolutely no substance to the story whatsoever. So it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say anything good about the writing. And I don't really want to spend the time to call it bad. Now, the next one I have here The next one I have here is on Dynamite Comics, and that's Chastity, issue number 1. And I gotta show you something. I'm not sure if you guys can see that here, but look at that. You see what I'm talking about, right? You see it? I'm sure you see it. Let me get my face out of there so you see that. What's that say? Leah Williams, the same writer who is writing Gwenpool Strikes Back. Now this is a number 1 issue that I got. It's on Dynamite Comics, Chastity, written by the same writer, and I gotta tell you, this one, there was really no point to it. Okay, let me tell you, it's basically she's just a female Blade. Okay, it's just a female Blade on Dynamite Comics. She's a go-go dancer. She used to be what was it? She used to be an acrobat. She used to be a gymnast. She used to be a gymnast with Olympic aspirations, but now she's undead. She's a vampire. She's just like Blade. She's just like Blade. She's half human, half vampire. Her powers are significantly greater at nighttime, and we can see here she's on the subway fighting some vampires. And overall, I gotta tell you guys, like this book, it wasn't really anything worth reading. She's talking, and basically what happens throughout the course of this book is we see her beat these vampires up on a subway. She's obviously not a hero. She's more like an anti-hero. And then we see, oh look there, you know, she's riding around being a smart aleck and stealing some dude's pizza. As he's walking down the way. Then, you know, she's riding through through town, being all reckless on her bike, being absolutely, I don't know, just, I wouldn't even say obnoxious, just silly. There's really no point to this. Then she goes for this for an audition for this show, a burlesque show, and she gets there, and what happens is, okay, she's there with the receptionist, and you know, the receptionist makes her mad, and she says, "Fuck you, bitch." Yeah, and then she gets in there, and she meets these other girls who had problems with the receptionist as well, didn't like her and what was going on. And then we can see, what happens is they all got roofied. But she lives for this kind of thing. That's what she does. She's look, oh yeah, take care of that roofie water, man. You gotta save these people. And then we see, eventually the bad guys walk in, who are gonna take their bodies and do whatever they're gonna do if they're bad people. That's all that really matters. Altogether, this issue, I gotta say, it was trash. There was really, we didn't get a good introduction to the character, what they're about, what the conflict is going to be going on. I mean, we just got her kind of at the beginning in a situation explaining her powers, exactly who she is, with no real humor to it. And then she gets put in this situation where she got roofied by somebody, there was really no good storytelling in this. Nothing to get you invested into the story and into the character and make you want to read an issue 2. And I can tell you, I'm not going to. But I guess you could say that, this writer, Leah Williams, is kind of, I guess you could say that, she is my Kelly Thompson. You guys know I like Young Rip of 59 here on YouTube. And he absolutely loves Kelly Thompson. And I guess you could say that Leah Williams is my Kelly Thompson. I just don't really particularly like her writing. I don't find her funny. I don't find it entertaining. It's garbage. And there's people out there who may say, well, if you don't like her writing, why are you buying her books? He supports her. Yeah, sure, of course. I got no argument against that, but the thing is I do a comic book channel. I talk about comic books here, and so I've got to have stuff to review, and it doesn't always have to be things that I like, and sometimes, as a matter of fact, it has to be things that I don't like, because for me, it helps challenge me to write something, a negative type of review, and bring more scrutiny to it without just outright slamming it, calling it trash, and that it sucks. Now, I'm doing that here on this show, because this is the Trailer Park Live, where I'm a little more unfiltered, a little more uncensored. I am going to be doing more of a breakdown review on this for you all to see here on the channel. One that's going to be a little more objective and let you know just a little bit more of my thoughts. Because just because I don't like it doesn't mean that somebody else out there won't like it. But that's all I've got for the comic books that I pulled for the week. We definitely got some interesting things to talk about. Some of the things I kind of talked on the morning movie chat today, and just throughout the week, that I think are some very relevant things that we need to discuss. And we're going to go ahead and get right into those. Oh man. Once again that's happened. All right. All right. What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Man, that's kind of funny. Actually, what I was doing is it wasn't that my volume was turned down. I was doing this. You guys just didn't know that, right? Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. But yes, make sure, thank you all so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it helps grow the channel. So make sure you slap that like button. Don't make me complain about the YouTube algorithm and, have to start crying about that and then, get on Twitter and, start tagging them and saying, come on, YouTube, start pushing my videos. I'm not growing. And then I have to go out there and start throwing shade at people, just getting, anything to garner some attention to get you onto my channel here and watching my little videos and making sure you give them dislikes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because I really look into that kind of stuff. I really do. I really do. It affects my enormous ego, you know what I mean? So make sure that you hit that like button, because otherwise I probably will actually seriously cry about it. Probably not to you guys, but when I'm going to bed at night. But thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you do slap that like button like you slapped a salami. That's what I'm talking about. And again, I was thank you so much for being here. We got LB, Lord Callus, Fatal J, Snowdub in the house. Rhodes Rants, thank you all for being here. And anybody else who is here and is not interacting in the comments section, what's wrong with you? We got some great people here. You need to go talk to them. And it doesn't matter what you say. They're not going to be mean to you. These are all some great people. Definitely some good people out there. So yeah, before I get into to much else, I just want to let you guys know. Did you know that Tool recently released an album? Yeah, they recently released a new album, and I finally got a chance to listen to it today. So yeah, don't worry, I just heard too, right? It was really good. It's been a while since we've heard from Tool, and the boys got back together and put out a really good album. I think I didn't get like the last two tracks listened to, but it was really good. But in case you guys didn't also know, Cold put out a new album as well. And you guys should definitely go check that out. I didn't actually go buy them yet, but I do have like the Amazon, app, where I pay a little bit extra and I get the unlimited one. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but I do that and got access to them. Been listening to got to jam that Tool album. Absolutely great stuff. And Tool's one of those kind of bands. They're just one of those kind of bands. There's nothing really can say about them, but they're absolutely great. And we can see that these guys get together and they jam, and these guys make some really, really unique music. And I mean, it's just man, it's just something to hear. It's something that the artists and bands like this don't come around every day, and especially when we get a band that's exactly one of these types of bands who are going out there. It's been a while since we heard from them, but they're still around, they're still making music, and we can still see that they put together a phenomenal song list and track list to put on an album. And it seems like a lot of these great bands are dying out. And not just literally in the fact that some band members have been dying from some great bands, but also like it seems like it's starting to be a lost art form. This like good metal music, and maybe I'm just not too in the know these days, but it just seems like we're getting less and less of them. And got that new Slipknot? No, but I'll make sure to check that out and give it a listen. I'm not really, I was really big into Slipknot like when they first came out. Like their first like 3 albums were absolutely great. And I actually see, God, you know what? I didn't actually see that. Wasn't on the. No, I didn't. I was thinking I got to see them on Ozfest, but I didn't get to see them on Ozfest. But I mean, they are a good band though. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they suck or anything like that. But no, I haven't. I probably haven't heard their last few albums, to be honest with you. But something else. I can't remember if I touched on this the other week. Some tickets went on sale for this band called. This band called Mr. Bungle, and we missed our chance to actually. We missed our chance to get tickets, and it's not like we missed a chance. Like we got on Ticketmaster, AXS access, whatever, to order the tickets for Mr. Bungle. They were only $45, and we got on there the very second they went on sale. I mean, we were on our computers. I was on my computer on my smartphone. My wife was on her laptop on her smartphone, and fuck, man, we didn't get no tickets. And you know how much? And then they added a second day. Then they added a third day. And I mean, these tickets went so damn fast. $45, man. $45, and you know what? Can't get a hold of one of these damn things. And you know what? You know what the scalpers want for them? $200, $200 per ticket. And you know what? Believe me, if you don't know who Mr. Bungle is, this is an absolutely phenomenal band. Before I even want to talk about them, I'd do some research because they're a really great band. The singer for the band though is Mike Patton. Mike Patton is absolutely a phenomenal singer and just musician altogether. I mean, just everything that he does is absolutely great. He's done some great solo albums. He did one of his side projects called Peeping Tom, where he had some music put together. He reached out to a bunch of other artists and asked them to come in and do tracks with him. And basically the way he wanted an answer of yes or no was send back the musical track with it finished. And he had enough albums. He said at the time, he had enough tracks to actually do 2 albums, but they've only released 1. And I'm waiting for that other one, Mike Patton. If you're out there listening, I'm waiting for Peeping Tom #2. But it is a great album. But yeah, Cold also released an album. Cold is a band that, God, they've been around, since, God, what was that? It had to have been the late 90s. I'm guessing 99, 98, 99 probably. They came out actually under Flip Records, who was, under Fred Durst. He was basically, who got them, kind of discovered them and got them hooked up with a contract and everything. Got their first album out. I really liked their first album. I was into it. Bought it when it came out, and they've had several albums out since then. They've had a couple of hits out there. A lot of people probably out there think they're one-hit wonders. They had a song called "Stupid Girl" a while. God, that's been a handful of years ago. Was that 2001, 2002? It was an absolutely great song, and they've got plenty of other great songs as well. So you should definitely go check that out. Um, is he talking about Teletubbies or Smurfs right now? Oh yeah, that's funny. The volume thing, that's just absolutely funny. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, you can see if you didn't catch some of the comic books I was talking about there. You know what? I've been pulling more indies, and I've really been getting into these indie comics, and they're just really good stuff. And I got to do more reviews on comic books is what I started to realize. And sometimes I think I sit down to do these reviews and I just kind of overthink it. You know what I mean? Like I overthink it, and I don't know. And then they end up being longer than they want to. I end up stumbling over words. I end up going crazy. I don't know. It's just a really big. I don't know. It's always really weird. But anyway, in case you didn't hear when I first got here too, just some of the we've seen this week once again. We got more people. It's funny when us as YouTubers, we there's a lot of complicated things that go to growing having a channel and growing one. For those of you out there who are creators, it's always it's a challenging thing. There's a lot of things you got to think about when you're making a video. I mean, not only are you thinking about what you want to put in the video, but you're thinking about what the title of the video, the tags to use, the thumbnail, and all these things to grow your channel. And it seems like the popular thing these days, instead of really coming up with your own good thumbnails and good titles, thought-provoking titles, things that, provocative titles to get people to click on your video, entering that description. And believe me, I'm by no means good at it. I'm not good at it at all, okay? I'm going to tell you. I'm not good at it. But I will tell you, the other thing, I noticed the greatest thing that seems, one of the things that people have been working on lately that seems to work for a lot of people is, you know what? Just throwing shade at people. You know what I mean? I think that's a popular thing to do now. And I'm just trying to think, who do I need to focus on? Who's out there that I could sit there and start talking shit about to get some attention to my channel. It seems like the popular person. We all know who the popular person is. Do I even need to say? You all know who he is. Y'all can guess and say it down in the comments below. We all know who I'm talking about. That's the guy you gotta throw shade at, apparently, if you want to grow your channel. And I'm thinking, sometimes I think maybe I need to stoop to those kind of lows, just start throwing shade at people just to grow my channel. Now, I've certainly thrown shade at people, but not in a means to, in a desperate attempt for attention. As we all know, I did a stream one day with, tried to get Cosmic Wonder here onto my channel because he started throwing shade at me, and I'm like, dude, what? Like, what are you talking about? And yeah, he was, yeah, that's really about it. But again, that's stuff, I wasn't doing that for attention. I'm just saying, hey, dude, what are you being a turd for? And of course, he didn't want to answer, Always funny. Rev Kev says you can throw some shade my way. Nah, man. Dang. Why would I do that? You make some great videos, man. I'm glad I found your channel. Seeing you on here one morning, talking with us all. Absolutely great channel. I'm sure if any of you guys don't know Rev Kev Reviews, you guys should go check him out. He is a pastor, and he talks about. He did a video, I think it was last week, talking about that, and I was like, man, that's an absolutely great video. Because in case any of you guys don't know, I'm not a religious person. He's a pastor, and he talks about some of the things like people pigeonhole him just into these certain categories and says, oh, he's a pastor, so he must be like this and that, and and kind of put him into this little box, and so no, I'm not gonna throw shade at you, Rev Kev. If anything, I'm gonna sit here and tell people about you, because the thing is, I'm not a religious person, and people always say, oh, you're an atheist. I'm like, no, I'm not an atheist neither. And they're like, oh, like agnostic, just all this, whatever they want to go into. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm like, no, I'm none of that. I'm just me, man. I'm just a person. That's it. You trying to call me an atheist or an agnostic or any of these other little things, that's just you trying to suck me into your religion game or whatever, trying to put me in whatever little thing. Even if you're not a religious person like myself, that's you just trying to place yourself somewhere. You got to be on the scale, right? You got to be on a scale somewhere. You can't just be a human being that's here on this world, on this planet that just wants to go out there and have fun and try to be the best person that they can be. What's so hard about that? You know what I mean? Why we all get sucked into this religion game? I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it. Just like I don't want to play the politic game either. I hate the politic game. Don't we all hate the politic game? Did you guys catch my live stream this morning? I was kind of talking about that, with the politics and everything out there. Oh, you know what? Maybe before I go on, I should continue there because I see some people talking about that. He says you can throw some shade my way. All right, you gotta go. All right, take it easy, Rose Rance. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you leave this video on and turn it down the volume just so I get watch time and stuff because I'm desperate. I need to get monetized. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I post about that too. I'm gonna go post like, hey guys, you know what? Could you put my playlist? I need my watch time to go up. I need my watch time to go. Could you guys, go to this playlist and watch all my videos? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at that because maybe I am myself. Maybe I am throwing shade at somebody right now, and that's what we were talking about. And he says, "Who? Drunk 3PO? Oh no, Drunk 3PO, man. He's out there. He's been making me laugh, man. He's been making me laugh with that stuff he's been doing about Jeremy because Jeremy's the guy. Jeremy's the guy that everybody likes to seem to throw shade at to garner attention at themselves for one reason or another. He seems to be the target, and I guess it works for some people. I guess that works for some people. I just, for me, for the most part, I don't want people's attention in that way. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that I run from it. I'm not saying that I just, just try to avoid confrontation or anything like that. Oh, confrontation. Don't want none of it. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's just, I really have no reason to. Like, most of the people there's really nobody in my space. You know what I mean? Nobody that does what I do. And, there's people that do similar things that I do. There's other people, plenty of comic book channels out there that review comics, yeah. There's plenty of channels out there of people who do live streams like this where they sit there and, share their opinions and their thoughts on things, yeah, sure. There's lots of people out there who do live streams talking about movies every single day, But, I'm still me, you know what I mean? I'm different, and that's why you're here. That's why you're here. So, like, nobody's in my space. So there's nobody I really have to go out there and, throw shade at or try to garner attention my way for. I'm just trying to grow an audience. And you guys here, if you're here, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys are good people. You're not here to, just for any one particular thing. Maybe you just think I'm an all right guy. Maybe you think I'm cool. Maybe you just maybe you like watching my live streams, just sit there and laugh and joke and make jokes about me behind my back. And I don't care. That's okay. That's okay because you know what? You're still here watching and I appreciate that. And believe me, I honestly don't care about that stuff neither because I don't take myself that seriously. You know what I mean? There's times when I do. There's definitely things that I take seriously and things in my life where I take it seriously and, stuff like that. But I'm not going to let, people online hurt me in that way. It just doesn't really, I don't know. People are so not in such great control of their emotions these days. You know what I mean? And like I said, me, my ego's it's not that big, and even if it is big, I still keep it in check. You know what I mean? I, I'm humble. I'm so humble. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't. You of course you guys don't know what I'm saying because I'm the humble one. But yeah. So but it seems that I've seen a lot of this lately, and and it's not just people throwing shade at Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers or anything like that. Neither. I see other people doing it to other people too, like on Twitter and all those kinds of things. People doing it. It's just like I don't get it. Like, why you got to do that? Like, I understand if somebody's being an a-hole and you want to share your opinion on it, there, fine. But I mean, if they're talking trash about you, I mean, you can go defend yourself. But in most cases, I mean, we don't have to engage in the conversation. Sometimes it's fun too. Sometimes it's fun too, and I certainly have fun with it at times. Wookie Lad says Second Street doesn't use chairs. I don't. I don't. You know why? Because I don't know. For me, I feel like when I'm doing these live streams, like I've got to kind of keep it upbeat, keep the tempo up, and for me, it's best to do that by just you know walking. I guess be here walking around, and plus I don't know, sitting down. I don't know. I got my chair here. I could sit down when I want. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems that there's a lot of people who do this, who've been doing this lately, and I don't know. And it's something Josh from the Den of Nerds, he was talking about. I'm a Patreon supporter. You guys know I'm a huge. If you're here on my channel, you guys know I'm a huge Patreon supporter of, and just supporter of the Den of Nerds anyway. But he did this stream for Patreon supporters earlier today, just talking about some of the negative talk and engagement and everything. Because we all get that on our channels, people being negative and just stuff like that, especially when you're talking about certain particular topics that people are very passionate about. And basically doing our best to when we engage people that are being negative or that we disagree with, is trying to do so in a in like a diplomatic manner, instead of just being dicks and smartasses. You know what I mean? And I guess that's my ultimate hard thing to do for me, is to not be a smartass. I mean, it's kind of who I am, but the only thing is no matter what way you put that on type, through text, like on Twitter, Facebook, or anything like that, it always comes off wrong. Because it always people read things differently. Everybody reads things differently when they read it, whether it's when it's seen in type like that. And I think it's just obviously something that is unique to our times, as social media has gotten bigger and all that kind of stuff. But it seems like everybody always seems to take it the wrong way. Why is that? You know what I mean? Nobody can just read something and just let it roll off their back. Nah, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. But then no matter what, it seems like a lot of times, no matter what you say, like if you want to be like engage somebody like in conversation in print, over type, like you've got to choose a lot of words, and you've got to choose them wisely, exactly how you're saying, so somebody understands that you're not being a smart ass, or you're not just out just being an asshole or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's like you got to over explain yourself. You know what I mean? And man, it's exhausting at times. It's exhausting at times. That's why sometimes it's just easier to, I don't know. And I know it's something I need to work on myself. I know sometimes I probably don't engage quite the way I should on my like my personal accounts, or on my Second Street Marvel accounts. Whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. I just don't. I just, sometimes I don't know. It's just, I don't know. So I'm gonna be using my personal account on Twitter a lot more. And if you guys don't know my my Twitter account, well, good luck finding it. I'm just kidding. It's not that hard. My name is Trinity. My name is Trinity Peck. You can go find me on there, look me up. You'll probably see me on there being a smartass a lot more. I'll probably be engaging with a lot more of you through my personal account from now on. But Terrazon, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. She said it's like parenting, handling the trolls. It is, and it's sad. Like when I'm on on YouTube, and even like especially on YouTube, like engaging with people on YouTube, because they can immediately click on my channel. You know what I mean? And I always want to engage people in positive ways. But on my Twitter, sometimes we all go a little wild on Twitter. Maybe we just have a little too much fun. But then again, like I was saying, it's still hard to engage, because anybody that disagrees with you, they just just think that anything you're saying is wrong and you're wrong, and they just completely act. Twitter's just a whole different thing altogether. So when it comes to the Twitter, I try to engage in a diplomatic manner, trying to, but like ultimately people always take it wrong. So it's just like I just I'll just respond with what I respond with, and people will take it for what it is, and I guess we're gonna have to run with it after that. I don't know. That's just how it is. But Twitter seems to be, a lot more convoluted than what you get on things like Facebook. And believe me, on Facebook, I have a lot of fun. I've talked about that before. Some of the fun I have with my friends, doing things like those. But yeah. And Josh over there at the Den of Nerds, he's been working on getting some other great stuff together. He's got this something we're getting ready to launch here pretty soon called the Gray Order. It's going to be something cool. I can't wait to see what they do over there. Like I said, Josh over there has been really. He's been really doing a good job growing his channel. I've reached out to him, gotten some advice on things I can do to grow my channel, just like through YouTube and things like that. Just little things to change. And I had a pretty good conversation with him. I need to get a hold of him again, probably here in the next week or so, and see what else we can figure out and talk about to kind of because like I said, I want to grow my channel in the right way. That's why a lot of times here you guys won't ever see me being negative. Even when you see me scrutinizing things, I don't like to be negative about stuff. Now I express plain my feelings. I go off. I've flown off the handle. I've turned red in the face and stuff here on the channel. Just most of the times being silly, but I don't. Even when I do that, I don't like to be negative because it's possible to be critical of things and not be negative. And I think there's definitely a lot of people out there that I know that are like that. That people still always take them the wrong way. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, I don't know. Sometimes I think we all just need to get over ourselves. Have a sense of humor. You know what I mean? Have a sense of humor about stuff. And, go from there. But yeah, handling trolls is always, yeah. Let's see. Rev Kev says, got to crash with the morning meeting. I'll run your playlist tonight to get you more watch time on the channel. Keep it up. Hey, I'm just kidding about the watch time thing. I mean, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I'm trying to grow my channel just the right way. I'm not trying to, do like all that sub for sub stuff people do. I'm not trying to, like cheat the algorithm or get watch time through these, putting my stuff and watching my own stuff under another account. I don't do any of that, man. Like, people come here to watch. I want to grow naturally because I figure the more naturally I grow, just by people just finding their way here on their own, and just through engaging in other ways and finding their way here, is the way I have the more engaged audience. You know what I mean? Because we all, we've seen people out there do like that sub for sub thing, and they've got all these subscribers, but they have no watch time. That their views are trash and stuff like that. And that's why like I don't really count on that. I just count on people, hopefully coming to the channel, watching my videos, hopefully finding some value in them, and then hopefully they eventually get and sometimes it might be a bad thing. Hopefully they eventually get here onto some of these live streams and see some of the things I had to say and some of the things I talk about, where I'm sharing my opinions and my thoughts on stuff. And sometimes here on the trailer park live, it's in it's more, like I said, it's rated R. We're adults here. I try not to curse all the time because to me, you don't need to curse all the time to get a point across or just to be funny or anything like that. Not even Eddie Murphy had to back in the days, but you know what? He sure did a lot, and it was funny. Nathan But Game, welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. He says Twitter is stupid, is what it is. It is, and that's why you just kind of got to get on there and just have fun with it. People take things too seriously there. He says, I like Twitter on fucking fire. Yeah, man. Being polite is boring. Yeah, and the thing is for me, like I've got a brand account there, and that's what I generally communicate out of most of the time. And sometimes I know that I probably engage in ways that I probably shouldn't on there, just so like people out there who don't know me come to my Twitter and be like, oh man, this guy's some sort of crazy white right wing blah blah blah, just all these things. Like, well, no, I'm not. I'm politically I don't really stand anywhere. I don't all this stuff out there is craziness. Like when it comes to to voting for a president, I'll go vote for whoever I think is going to be the best president at the time. And like this last election, hell, I didn't mark any one of these nutcases names on there. Yeah, none of them nutty people. Hell no, I didn't vote for none of them. I went there and I voted on a couple of the the things, and some of the other things out there, the bills or just all the different things, but not the president. No, I didn't mark anything. I'm like, yeah, not going there, not going there. Didn't do it. And because like really, I mean, really, what affects me more than anything isn't the president. It's my local politics. That's where my vote really counts. But yeah, and that's like I said, I know sometimes I probably engage in the wrong way, and that's why I'm thankful to a creator like Josh out there at Den of Nerds, who on his Patreon he goes and he talks about things like that, and he gets R-rated on there, and I like that he gets on there and does some videos, because like he did one today talking about just like engaging people and stuff like that, and I'm like, and he even mentioned my name on there as well, and hearing feedback like that I appreciate. You know what I mean? I'm always somebody who's open to hearing feedback, and somebody just being real and not beating around the bush and just saying, hey man, like, and he wasn't saying that I was particularly being a jerk or anything, but he said that he knows, like, I'm somebody who has opinions, and other people, I talk to a lot of people, and some people may find my opinions polarizing and just being just stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, I get that, and that's why, like I said, a lot of times on my channel I do everything I can to not be negative, because I don't want to be negative, even when I've got something bad to say or something not so happy to say or positive to say. I still try to do it as good as I can without just being a jerk, because I don't think we have to do that. That's not the way we change things, and I've talked about this at length here on the channel. That's not how we change things in the world. That's not how we enlighten people to the way we feel or how we see things or what we enjoy about this or enjoy about that or don't like about this or don't like about that. You've got to. I mean, you got to just be yourself. Just be human. The only thing is a lot of people still are going to take that the wrong way. Um, uh, let's see. Cursing. What the fuck are you talking about? Yes, yes, Oh man. Um. Oh yeah, second sounds better. Okay, yeah, my volume was turned down for a little while. She says I write myself in on the ballot, especially these days. Yeah, I mean these days you almost have to. I mean, there's a lot of people. I'm like remember, you guys remember Gil Fulbright, or is it Phil Goldbright? You know who I'm talking about, the honest politician. I think God, what state was it he was running for? Was it in Maine or something? And they did a lot of funny videos on Facebook and everything, and he was actually legitimately running. And I like a lot of people are like, that could realistically happen. Like this guy, he's just being silly, he's being truthful, just talking about this stuff. People will legitimately go out and vote for somebody like that. Like who is the you all know who the other guy is, the crazy guy. What, Birdman, Hawkman? No, the guy with the man. Why am I forgetting his name? With the big old boot on his head, man. Anyway, people will go out and vote for people like that, because at least they're being real and being themselves and being honest. Um, but yeah, these days, voting for the average person might be a lot better. Somebody who's human. I've been called the complete list of ists plenty of times. Shit doesn't faze me anymore. Oh yeah, me too. It's like, ah, what can you do? What can you do, man? You can't win for losing these days, and it's not really that important. But now, getting into another one of the topics that I want to talk about, aside from trying to grow your YouTube channel by throwing shade at people and garner attention, saying, "Hey guys, I hate this guy, f this guy," and constantly going at him and talking about him on Twitter and stuff to hopefully get people to be like, "Oh, who's this? Oh, what's going on? Oh, let's go help them." Come on, man. Come on, man. We gotta do it. We gotta do it by, I mean, not only finding other creators that you like and that you support, but I mean, trying to get all those other people out there in the world to come and watch your stuff. And that's why, I mean, obviously you gotta center your content around something. That's why I've been trying to center mine more around comic books lately, which is, I probably shouldn't, because it's a tough landscape. There's so many comic book YouTubers out there, but also I guess I try to integrate that onto my channel in different ways too. So I mean, you try to find something different. That's why I was saying earlier, throwing shade at somebody, like nobody else is even in my is in my space to have to throw shade at, to even get people from somebody else's space to into my space. I don't have to go be mean to somebody else or throw shade at them. All I got to do is go interact with other people that are over here and over there and over there. Just go interact with them in whatever ways to get them back. Oh yeah, hey yeah, I run this channel. Come check me out sometime, man. It's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. Do things the right way. I mean, I don't know. Far too many people out there do that. So the one thing I was definitely wanting to talk about. We were talking. In case you guys didn't see here on the headline, he says you're losing it, Stu. What's that? I don't know. The one thing I want to talk about is Victoria Alonso taking over for Kevin Feige in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. I know what you're thinking, okay? We're an hour into this show, and you're not going to have much time left. No, we'll go here as late as we have to. But here we are, about an hour into the show. I do want to, before I go into that, the Victoria Alonso taking over for Kevin Feige, I want to let you all know and say thank you to all my Patreon supporters out there. I've got a few Patreon supporters. Got a new one, Michelle P. She just joined this week, and she went ahead and signed up on under my Patreon. Now I've got the Patreon there. I mostly set it up as just a way for if people want to support the channel, where they can go there and donate $1, $5 a month, however much they want to, and you're not obligated to it. It's just something to help out. If you want to help out, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to sit here and beg for it. But basically, what I'm going to use that money for is to bring upgrades here to the channel. Things like I'm going to buy a bigger green screen. Just a lot of things that I don't, necessarily. I'm busy. I do a lot of stuff. I run my own business, and that in itself it's kind of hard to do. You got to balance money and things like that. But then also you can see I buy a lot of comic books, and I'm a cyclist. So there's just all the things that we have. The things that we enjoy, and having stuff to do. Some of these other things, it's kind of a business expense, and like I don't make money from YouTube, so it's just all for things like that. Things that people just want to be generous. Don't ever feel like you are obligated or have to just because you like me, you like the channel, you like my content. Don't ever feel obligated that you have to do that. But if you do, and you go support me there over on Patreon, or you can even send direct donations through Streamlabs. It doesn't have to be a monthly thing. You can just go through there and send some money. The links are down in the description. That's just to, anybody that does that, I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, don't feel obligated to at all. These things will eventually come. Like I said, I'm a small channel. I've got 440 subscribers. So, I've got time before I'm ever going to be monetized or any of that kinds of stuff. I've got time to grow my channel, and that's kind of what I want to do. And, I've explained before, part of the reason I started that stuff was because we know that a lot of times what people do once they get monetized is the whole thing, aside from you get a nice community tab, is you also can put ads on your videos, and you get money from ads. You can place them at the beginning of your videos, at the end of your videos, in the middle of your videos, and when people click on them or they have to watch them, you get a little bit of ad revenue. And my whole thinking behind that is if I only get 30% of all my subscribers engaged in doing that, which right now, say I've got say 1/3 of them, and I've got like 400, that would be roughly over 100, 100, I don't know, roughly over 130. Yeah. That would be, like $130 a month if that many people were donating $1. And that would quickly help me get to do some of the things here that I want to do for the channel to hopefully bring some better content for you all. And so yeah, don't ever feel obligated. You guys being here, just watching the show is great. And again, I just want to tell you guys, the Patreon supporters and anybody else out there, thank you so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. Now, to go ahead and get into tonight's main topic here. Wookiee Lives Matter says, Victoria, that's great. Her ovaries are a total asset. Oh, man. Having ovaries is a big advantage and is obviously beneficial in directing a movie. Those things are great. Well, I don't know. Maybe for Disney. I don't know. Wookie, you crazy, man. Oh, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Saving it for special occasions. But yes, Kevin Feige has been leading Marvel Studios for a very long time. They started back in 2008 with Iron Man, and obviously that's just when the movie came out. They started before that, putting everything together. And I haven't ever really gone through his IMDb and seen what all he's done, but I know like he used to help be there. He used to be in the studios. He was part of like the X-Men when they were coming out. I know he helped produce a lot of the cartoons that they did. I think as late as like I don't know, maybe the late 90s on here through to the 2000s. he's been a big part of these productions for a long time. He's really proven himself, and he's been doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of work just in the industry, and a lot of great work too. I mean, a lot of us, really love his work and everything that he's done. I mean, and he has done something that literally has never been done before. You know what I mean? Like literally, he has done something that's not been done before. Now, people have, and of course, he didn't. It wasn't all his own idea. I mean, there's plenty of people that helped the other people that took franchises and built them. Some of them actually just had their own franchises that they took and built. George Lucas, um, uh, so and it's not easy. So Kevin Feige's been doing that for a while for Marvel. So he's been he made them a lot of money. He's been doing a lot of work, and soon he's not going to be the head of Marvel. Well, he probably will be the head of Marvel Studios for a long time because he made him a lot of money. He's probably on. I think he's the president or whatnot of Marvel Studios and whatnot. So I mean, he's pretty much the head of it. But eventually, he's going to relinquish his duties and move on to bigger and better things to make even more money. And to replace him is going to be Victoria Alonso. And I know some people probably are out there like, who's Victoria Alonso? Well, in case you don't know who Victoria Alonso, she's been a visual effects supervisor on movies for a long time, since I think well before 2000. Not all for Marvel Studios, not all for Marvel Studios or anything. But she's been a visual effects producer that's been just kind of in the movie industry for a while. She started in on the Iron Man movies. I think the first handful of movies in the MCU, she was a visual effects supervisor, and then she was also a co-producer as well. She was a co-producer of a lot of the films in the early phases, and then eventually she's gone on to be an executive producer. So she's taken steps. She's been moving up, and she's somebody prominent over in Marvel Studios right now, and she has been for a while. She has been for quite a while, and that's one of the things that we're gonna see very soon. I can guarantee you, she's gonna be taking it over because she's already been there. She's been groomed to take over this spot. Um, and that's just how it works in the industry. That's how a lot of people eventually work. That's how they work their way up in the industry. I mean, maybe you just help there on set, doing maybe you're a script supervisor, maybe you're this or maybe you're that. Maybe you're the key grip. Maybe you're just somebody in the background that's going. Maybe you're just one of the assistants. Maybe you're the producer's assistant. And that's how you get into these bigger jobs. You piggyback off the one job, you get in, you get people to know your name, you put in the work, and you get promoted. People notice you, and you get promoted. It's no different than any other job out there. And Victoria Alonso has been out there doing this for quite a while, and she has been more and more over the past few years been getting into more and more of the interviews. Now me, I'm heavily into like the Marvel Studios, MCU, and all that stuff since it started out in the first place. So I've gone through and I've watched most of the DVDs and all those bonus features and every little thing on every single one of the movies and who they're interviewing, who they're talking to, and what they do and all that kinds of stuff. So I've known who this lady was for a while. And so, like I said, she's put in work and she's been there for a long time. And now all the things that we see going on, just with Disney, with the Star Wars franchise, with Marvel Studios, we could see that they're going through changes. They're doing a lot of with like the inclusion and just all that kind of stuff with representation and all that stuff. And I mean, if you ask me, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having diverse casts and stuff like this. Now, the thing is when it serves the story, and like a lot of these, like when they make changes to our classic characters, that's what a lot of people get upset about. Is they make changes to these classic characters and race swap them, gender swap them, and all these things when they don't need to. Okay, they have other characters out there that they can use, and we can see they've already started to do that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and things like that. Now, like I said, I'm not a person that's against the diverse cast or anything, because in a lot of movies, I mean, diverse casts just make sense. Most movies out there in Hollywood don't just have all white casts. Now, there's plenty of movies that do, obviously, but there's plenty of them that don't. I mean, there's plenty of movies out there that have all black casts, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the thing is, it's when it's what it is. It's upsetting when people are when it's happening, and a lot of people feel like it's just Hollywood pushing an agenda, and that's certainly an argument to be made. And that's why I say when they do these kinds of things, it's got to be done in the right way, and for something, at least for something that's good and serves a story. Like we've recently seen this story coming up, and this is by no means any surprise, because all the things Marvel Studios has been very transparent in what they've said, in what they're doing, what they're going to do, and they've been very transparent about all the direction they're taking. So for any of this to be a surprise to anybody, I just I mean, knock on your head or something. Just ask yourself if you're home. None of this stuff should come as any surprise, because Kevin Feige has he said in interviews a long time ago that they're trying to bring in more diverse cast, that they want to bring them in, be it filmmakers, writers, actors, and things like that. So we already know they're there. He's been completely open about that. So when they're bringing in some of these silly characters, they're gonna bring in, like, I'm not a Miss Marvel fan, I don't know. I've never really read the character much, and the stuff I have read, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's just kind of like the Gwenpool comic book. Like, I don't really see any point to this, but sure, maybe some little kid needs Kamala Khan to look up to as they're growing up. Okay, fine. But again, they've got now they have that character for that, so there's no need to race change her or gender swap her or anything, right? I mean, just come up with the new characters. People, a big deal was made about Peter Parker not too long ago. They're like, oh, they're gonna make him gay, they're gonna make him black, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Well, there's so many versions of Spider-Man out there. They don't have to do that to Peter Parker. That's why it would be upsetting for people, and why it would be stupid of them to do that. They've got Miles Morales. They've got Hobie Brown. They've got man, I can't even remember all the people from that I just read about in the Spider-Geddon. They've got one that's like from the Middle East. I'm not sure where in the Middle East. So, they've got one. They've got a Japanese girl. They've got all these different versions of Spider-Man out there. So there's absolutely no need for them to have to change or do anything like that. But I do get, like, the big thing that's been talked about this week is Professor X and Magneto being basically race changed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and obviously people are going to be upset about that. They're highly invested in these characters, and I'm highly invested in these characters. These are characters I've loved too as I was growing up, and so I understand people being upset about it, but, like, some people get completely triggered about it, and it's like, well, I mean, the one, and this is really, this doesn't mean that they have to race change or anybody either, but these characters, like Magneto, went through, as part of, the all the Nazi Germany, was thrown into the camps and all that stuff. His parents were executed, just all that stuff that he went through. That was clear back then, and we've heard people, more people talking about this lately too, is the fact that that would make him 100 years old by the time they get to this present day. Trying to make these movies, would be an old man, like Ian McKellen was, and older, and Patrick Stewart were in the X-Men movies. They'd be older than that. You know what I mean? So it makes sense that they're gonna have to find something else to bring these characters in, and what other, there's been plenty of struggles and things like that. And I was talking about this today on the trailer, on the morning movie chat, is they're going to have to change just something about their backgrounds to where they are, who they are and everything. And through that, they're going to, like I said, people are talking about this, about them race swapping them and all. There was a rumor a while back that Giancarlo Esposito, the guy that's going to be in the Mandalorian series, that he's going to come in and play, like, he may play Magneto, and and he's a good actor, and like I said, I just want to see good, entertaining films. Now, are people going to be upset about it? Yeah. Will I be upset about it? I'll be like, yeah, well, I won't be happy about it. I just want to see a good movie. But a lot of people will be upset about it, and they were talking about bringing him in. There was a rumor going around, and people were upset about it, and of course, I mean, they're bringing in people of color, more representation, and all that stuff. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but because I kind of feel like, what else are they going to do? I mean, they could, but they don't have to. They don't have to race swap them or anything either. I mean, people have struggled throughout history, all different races and all different colors of people. So I mean, they could use anybody, and there's no real need to do any of that stuff. But are they? Absolutely. Absolutely. So don't be surprised when they do. And that's the other thing is, like, like, we should all realize these kinds of things already. So there really should never really be many people upset when we hear these kinds of news, because you should already expect it. Marvel Studios has been very vocal about what they are doing, and all those kinds of things. And like I said, more power to them. If that's what they want to do, if they feel that's what's going to gain them, a bigger audience and stuff, and more reach, you do what you got to do. You're in a business to make money. And obviously you're gonna lose some longtime fans. There's fans already that are already done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the first place after Endgame, and they themselves said that Endgame was an end. The studio themselves have said that. So they're turning the corner. They're going on to bigger and better things. So don't be surprised when these things happen. Don't be surprised about it. I'm certainly not. I'm not surprised about it. It happens. It's like, okay, well, I mean, there you go. There's nothing I can really do about it. Unless they make unentertaining movies, and I just have to stop supporting them. You know, and that's the thing. For me, like, I'm just a lover of films anyway. So we're pretty much, I'd probably go watch just about every movie they're gonna make, and I'd go watch just about any movie that's being made out there, just because I like watching movies, and just all kinds of movies. Just some movies I'm not as into as I am others. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You think Victoria Alonso is soon going to be taken over for Kevin Feige? And what's your opinions on that? Because she's certainly poised for it, and we've seen her in plenty of interviews. Where she said plenty of things, and recently, and of course, these kinds of things are nobody's business. These kinds of things are nobody's business. But I seen in an interview recently, she was talking about she was saying, like, she said, I'm gay, and she was talking about, like, she's a lesbian, and that kinds of stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, some of the stuff I guess you've said, I guess, makes sense. You know but the thing for me is, like, big deal. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care if you're gay, or if you're lesbian, or if you're bi, or you're I don't care. I don't care about any of that stuff. Why is it anybody's business? Unless it's your loved ones, and things like that. It's really, I mean, the only thing you're doing by saying that is you're then wanting to use your stage as, a platform for that. You know, and I guess if you've got the platform, you feel free to do with it whatever you want. But it's nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like, your loved ones, sure, your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whoever, it's their business. But when you're in an interview, it's pretty irrelevant. Unless somebody specifically asks you about that, you just say yeah or no. But I don't know. It's to me, it's just odd why people want to do that, and it's odd to me because, like I said, it's personal business. But we all know that. That's part of the Hollywood thing, the agenda thing, right? It's all that narrative they're trying to put out there, and I'm just not into it. I'm not into it. Like to me, I hear somebody say that in an interview, I'm like, it's pretty irrelevant. It's pretty irrelevant if you ask me. I'm gonna go ahead and get here into the chat here. See, Boatwright Family Comment says, "What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here, Boatwright." Um, let's see. What we got? Um, Terrazon says, "Marvel will lose me if they put that chick in charge. Not a fan of her or her vision." Yeah, me neither. I'm not a fan of it neither. Again, because there's a bonus scene, or no, there was some behind the scenes stuff on I believe it was the Star Wars movie, Rogue One, there was this some stuff on there where they pretty much said, and this is, it's Disney, where they pretty much said on there that they the one of the guys that the guy was it is it Diego Luna, I think, was it him? I can't remember, one of the actors in there. They pretty much said they specifically picked him just because he was Hispanic actor, and they were just looking for representation. It had nothing to do with anything else. They're like the way they said it in this behind the scenes thing. I'm like, you made it just sound like you only picked him because he was Hispanic, and that was it. You made it sound like you just picked him for that reason, not because of his talents. Because they didn't really talk about casting him like his talents and stuff like that. They didn't really focus on that so much as like they kind of came. I mean, they like literally came out and said that, and I'm just like, so like, if you did that, okay, but I'm like, what does that pertain to? Why do we care? Why would you say that in this? It's the same thing as when people do that stuff in interviews. Like, I don't get, I don't get it. Um, and you obviously, I mean, at least they're being bold about it. They're letting us know. They're putting it out there. So if you're not into these kinds of things, to avoid it. You know not to support it. So I mean, I guess that's one good thing is at least they've been transparent about all these things they're going to do, and they have. They absolutely have. So, I mean, I guess really it's our fault, if you're against those kinds of things as a fan, it's our fault for still continuing to support them when they have been out there saying exactly what they're gonna do. And again, I'm not a person that boycotts. I just don't do that. And like I said, I like movies. I'm gonna go watch them anyway. Even if these movies really start to go downhill, I'm still gonna be there for the downhill and watch every movie. So, just the same as I do some of these comic books, some of the ones I don't like, so I can watch them and scrutinize them and try to do a review on them and share my feelings about them. Because I don't want to talk about something that I don't know. So, yeah. But yeah, her, like I said, the Vision and all that stuff. Yeah, they're, Thomas Connolly says if Marvel if so, Marvel looks to be in trouble. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will go ahead and say the things that make the Kathleen Kennedy parallel, and that's, yeah. I don't really need to get into all that though, but yeah, I mean, I, again, I mean, she's been there the whole time anyway, and that's the other thing I'll offer in her defense is that she's been there the whole time anyway, and Marvel Studios' defense as well. She's been there the whole time anyway, so she's been there the whole time, and I mean, we can see more of it's been coming to the forefront as they've been bringing in new creators and all those kinds of things. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll just see how it goes. Like, all I want is good films. I just want good movies. And when they go and do things, that people aren't gonna like, we're gonna go there and watch them to see how they do it, and whether it's good or bad. Because some of you aren't gonna go watch it, and I'll watch it for you and let you know what I think about it and tell you how it is, if you don't want to see so for yourself. But again, me, I don't like to form opinions on things unless I know things for myself. You know what I mean? And most of you should be that way. Like, I know there's plenty of people out there who hate Captain Marvel and didn't even watch it and will talk trash about the movie having never seen the movie. And I'm not saying any of you specifically, but there's people out there that are like that. They're like, haven't even seen it in the end, and just talk down about it without having seen it in the first place. And that's fine, but you can't talk about it if you haven't seen it. Now, if you see it and then you got your opinion, good on you, good on you. But if you haven't, because like I said, we all know there's people out there who just get mad just to be mad. You know what I mean? And of course, there's people that are going to just be mad about Captain Marvel and not like it because some comments that Brie Larson made in an interview. It wasn't even an interview. It's just at an all-women's film festival thing where they got together, is what that was. But Wookie Lives Matter says, I want a full-length action movie of Faith, Squirrel Girl with Amy Schumer and Kristen Shaw. Oh, I know you're kidding. I know you're kidding. Are you kidding? Nobody wants Squirrel Girl. Nobody wants Squirrel. Does anybody even read Squirrel Girl? How's that comic still around? Just like this Gwenpool crap. How is that even still around? You know what? You want a comic book? You want a comic book with a good female lead in it? You got to read this one right here. This is all you need. This is the book you got to go get if you want to read a good, well written, strong female character. This is what you got to do right here. Black Widow right here. Oh man, look at that right there. Yeah, Jen and Sylvia Soska, art by Flaviano, and I can't remember who Gandini's first name is. But this book is absolutely great. I've flapped my gums enough about that book. The Soska sisters did an absolutely great job with Black Widow. They just started a new series, Web of Black Widow, that I thought was the first issue was pretty good. The Soska sisters left some big shoes to fill. We're gonna see if God, I can't remember what is her name. Hauser, Jodie Hauser, can go ahead and continue to build upon that. And another book I've recently liked, and this was when I just talked about it earlier too, is This Invisible Woman. This is a 5-issue miniseries, I believe. I think it's only a 5-issue, and this one's actually been pretty good. Being written by Mark Waid. I've got to read this 3rd issue still, but it's been a pretty good one too. On the Invisible Woman. Pretty good book if you guys want to go check it out. Want some characters like that, or you could go read Blade Runner 2019. Got a new issue getting ready to come out next week. Isn't it next week? I think I seen it on next week's books. That Blade Runner 2019, it's been very good. Basically, takes place not too soon after they started doing the whole Blade Runner program there in this futuristic dystopian type future. But we can see that it takes place in 2019, so it's really like the present. But yeah, Damaj and I, welcome to the live stream, man. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. He says, it seems like you cooled down today. Yeah. Yes. If you guys don't know what Damaj and I is talking about, you guys will have to go back and watch some Black Guys and a Drunk from Tuesday. I was on there. It was on Lonely Banter's channel, and yeah, it was. I got a little crazy on there, being silly, just workshopping hopefully some new personalities. But yeah, and thanks for being here. And you guys should go check out Damaj and I if you haven't already. Excellent dude, Eon's great guy. You should check out his channel and see what he's got to say. Boatwright Family Comics. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. What's up? Wookiee Lives Matter says race swapping is racist. Come on. One could easily make that argument. I'm not going to argue against you on that. Because like I said, we've seen at times when they, altogether. Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue about that. Everybody has their feelings about it. For me, race swap, it's unnecessary in most cases. And there's nobody better to speak about it than Young Rip of 59. You guys can go check out his channel, man. Absolutely great. That's a good young man. He knows what he's talking about. Good. He's got a good head on his shoulders. And I don't say that throwing any, kind of trying to down talk or anything or anybody. But I'm old, man. I'm 40 years old. And he's not even 30 yet. So, but yeah, smart guy, dude. He's very good, and he's really passionate about his feelings and the way he feels about all the comic books and everything. So, he's definitely somebody you could look to definitely share more of those kinds of insights about that kind of stuff. Wookie says, I don't want to watch an upside down kiss between Spidey and his boyfriend, right? Yeah, nobody wants to see that. And there's those Spider characters out there. They've got those characters out there that they can use, that they don't have to do that with Peter Parker. LB says, she ain't taking over nothing. You don't think so? I don't know, man. She's being groomed for it. And that's what they do there in Hollywood. They groom people. We know what I'm talking about. They groom people. And I don't know, man. I think she is. I guarantee she's the next. Because there's aside from her, and Kevin Feige, the only one of the other names that you hear is, oh man, who's the other guy? Nate Moore. Nate Moore is another guy out there, and that's Nate Moore. He's another one of the guys out there that you hear a lot of. And I'm not sure that he's actually one of the producers. But I know he's very heavily involved in a lot of their movies as well. But he's definitely somebody that would be up there, but he's not as prominent out there as Victoria Alonso is. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Victoria Alonso, dude. But I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you saying that, because hopefully she's not. But I want to be realistic about it, that Kevin Feige won't be there forever. And how much longer? He's probably already been doing this stuff for well over 15 years for Marvel. Marvel Entertainment, Marvel Studios, and things like that. So, his days are numbered, not because they're numbered in a bad way, but they're numbered in a way that he's going to move on and do bigger and better things. Maybe he can go help out DC and Warner Brothers. Demogeni says, the entertainment industry is super disappointing at this point. Not really even mad, just disinterested. And I understand what you're saying there, and that's true. Um, I think that's something that I've kind of talked about before, and that's like independent studios. The same thing with comic books and indie comic books is the big two, being Marvel and DC. They've begun to just kind of let writers do what they want, say what they feel in a lot of these comic books and things like that. And a lot of people get tired of it and they're jumping ship. They don't want to read these. They don't want to read some of that stuff in their comic books. And so it's kind of how the Comicsgate thing came about. And so yeah, I mean, there's that altogether. So then you've got the indies there to fill that void. And me, I'm not like a Comicsgate supporter or anything really big. I mean, I don't think I've ever ordered a book from anybody. It's coming. The only book I've ever actually ordered from the campaign that I've backed is Preston Poulter and White Lily. He was on Young Ripper's channel. Went ahead and got the first 3 books digitally, and the third issue, like print issue, should be coming in the mail here pretty soon. Just got an email that he's getting ready to send those out. And I got the first issue read. It was pretty good. I keep forgetting about it because I only owned the first 2 issues on digital. So I need to go back and read those and do some reviews on those. But we can see that's what people are doing. People are starting to do their own thing. Now, for me, a lot of these things, like these communities are, like, I don't know how all of them do it. Like all Comicsgate community does it the same way. But a lot of them do like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and things like that. And that's cool. I mean, you do whatever source and whatever means that you need to get your book out there. That's what you got to do. But there's plenty of other small indie publishers out there who are coming up that you could easily go to, as the creator, as the writer, and things like that. There's other titles out there, like the one of them I was talking about at the beginning of the show is Vault Comics. They started back in 2016. I can't even remember the Wazzles. They started this thing, and one of their goals is to get writers, creators who are, not just white people, not just, they're doing the whole inclusion thing, but they're also, you can go read their books, they're writing great stories. You know what I mean? They're just not focusing on superheroes, and they're not focusing on any one specific race of people. They're just looking for good creators to make books that they can put out with interesting stories, and they've been doing very good at it. And there's other ones, like my favorite one is my favorite indie book I've read is truly out of indie publisher, and that's Neon Future on Impact Theory Comics. It's one that they've been putting out, and they literally have grown that themselves. They put it I mean, they had, I don't know where they had it printed at or what and whatnot, but they literally started their own company with this one title, and they are growing it through comic shop distribution. So I mean, it's still possible. So a lot of people out there have said that the comic industry is dying and all that kind of stuff, and I have to disagree. Maybe it's not where it used to be, certainly, especially the big two, but there's still indie books out there that are being published, indie places that are still coming up, and that's the one thing. And that's the one thing that I think, like with Comicsgate, like I said, I'm not too familiar with Comicsgate and the movement. But the one thing I noticed there is, some of these books I've seen, just through Kickstarter, Indiegogo, some of these things are expensive, man. And it's like, come on, like, do I need to pay that much for a single issue of a book? Like, that's expensive, and it's taken a while to put out. And these are just things that I've heard from other people as well. Like, but some of the campaigns I've seen, I'm kind of like, you know, to me, I think they would probably be best. And the thing is like, it's just kind of a movement. It's not, and here's the problem. When it comes to these kinds of things, and we see a lot of these kinds of things where people struggle with these things. When there's a movement like that, when you got something and it's a group, it's it's Comicsgate. The thing is there's got to be a leader. Whether it's just a movement, it's just how people feel. It's just a state of mind, man. There's got to be a leader. There's got to be somebody to bring it together. And there are a lot of people who are prominent in these kinds of communities that a lot of people look to as the leaders and are construed as the leaders. A lot of people look to that aren't necessarily the leaders, and that's the thing, like with the Comicsgate thing, there's it's not any one individual thing, but the thing is, I think what they need to do is all of them come together to start something bigger, maybe to start a specific label or something like that, where they can all kind of pull together to get money together. And obviously there's going to be, there's going to be a president, there's going to be a CEO, there's going to be a CFO, all these different things out there. All that's going to have to happen. But and there'll be there's obviously bigger people, smaller people, and things like that, or other people who will just invest in the company and things like that. I think that's what they need to do to truly take it to the next step and really grow what they're trying to do. I think that would be I think that would be better for them, because we can see that there are still industries out there, independent industries, people coming up doing it, and it's the same thing in movies. It's the same exact thing in movies. And that's why I say a lot of the times, if we're out there, like the Rookie Critic went out there, he put together, got a bunch of YouTube creators, and kind of had this little script that he wanted done. A lot of people submitted videos, and he did that. I mean, he's trying to do something. He wants to be a filmmaker and all that kinds of stuff. So, that's awesome. You know what I mean? More people need to do that. If we want to, if we really want to make that change, we can do it. And it starts small. Yeah, sure, it starts with, making silly videos on YouTube, and, maybe they're not the best production, but, and trying to get people to see your vision. And that's the thing, though, is you got to have the vision, and then you got to present it to other people. And, you got to set goals, and you got to, you got to be able to express that to people exactly what you want to do. But I think it's possible. I see it happening with some of these comic books, some of these small industries, and we can see it with films too, where people go out and make their own movies, and get crowdfunding and stuff like that. Like there's what's that thing I keep seeing on Facebook, this M Studio M or something like that, or H or whatever it is. I see it on Facebook all the time, where it's just like they're trying to start a studio, and they're doing some crowdfunding and things like that, getting backers and supporters, and making films. And I think that's something, as us creators, if if we're any kind of creatives in that way, and we're kind of sick with the things that are going on out there, that's where we've got to put our money where our mouth is, and go out there and do that. And I just make silly videos here on YouTube, but believe me, I've got a friend that I've been trying to work with so we can get and create some new music, because I like singing, and I like screaming. So it's something I definitely want to do. And I always wanted to be an actor when I was growing up too, but I haven't really gone out and done any acting gigs. But you know what, I do those silly videos every now and again that I do on Mondays, the Trailer Park News. Yeah. I was actually going to do a skit for tonight. I just didn't get around to it. But we've got to go out there and really kind of help make the change. And maybe if you can't do, maybe you're not the most talented person out there, but maybe you have ideas that you can get to other people. There's still other people out there. Like, nobody does it on their own. And I think that's something a lot more people need to do, is get together, to come together and put those types of things together to do something that we want to see, that we like. And that's, if you ask me. And let's see, Snowdub says, I gotta go get the Snow Kid to bed. I'll check back in a bit. Have a great night. Well, have a great night, Snowdub. That was probably a while back. Boat Rice says, I agree 100%. Wookiee Lives Matter says, I don't care what anybody does with their orifices. I don't want to know. And basing your entire identity as a person on it is killing yourself in short. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, if that's all you have to offer, and all you present yourself, come on, it's really no big deal to me. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I don't care about anybody's orientation or anything like that. We're all humans. We all have different tastes and different things like that, man. So that's just how I've been my whole life. We're all different. We all like different things. We all have different opinions. We all love different people. You know what I mean? We all we're all attracted to different things. You know what I mean? So yeah. Terrazon says, my mom reads Squirrel Girl. She has a squirrel, though. That's funny. Okay, see? Somebody's got to read it, but, again, I've never read the book, so I can't I think I've read a couple of books, just in tie-ins and stuff. But again, I just thought it was silly, and there's nothing wrong with silly. I've talked about that before. I was reading Jane Foster Valkyrie, the recent series. It's not terrible writing or anything, and it's just the story itself is just kind of silly. It's silly to me. It's not bad. It's just silly, and sometimes silly can be good. Um, so yeah, but yeah, Squirrel Girl, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know who reads that. I don't know who reads that. 19K Fox, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Wookie Lives Matter says I read Top Cow's Witchblade for a strong female lead. I've never read Witchblade, but was it Witchblade? That was the one. Was that created by Michael Turner? He was one of the guys that started that, I think. Did Fathom and everything. I could be wrong there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the Witchblade I'm thinking of. LB says, Lonely Banter says, race swapping is not racist. Wookie says, I gotta check my privilege. Um, Wookie says, I keep forgetting that I'm the physical embodiment of walking oppression. You are, Wookie. You are. Boatwright says, gotta split. Everyone have a good night. We have a great night too, Boatwright family and comics. Thank you so much for being here. Tara says, gotta go, y'all. Tattoo awaits me. Oh, nice. Awesome. Enjoy getting a new tattoo. I want a new tattoo. Awesome. Well, and thank you so much for being here, Tara. I do greatly appreciate you being here and sharing your thoughts and, just watching the video. I appreciate it. Yeah, Wookie says, get drilled. Wookie says, oh, fuck, my neighbor wants a stereo war. I'm so sick of his taste in music. Oh, man, what's he out there playing some Conway Twitty? Oh, this dang. Oh, no. He's listening to that auto-tune mumble rap bullshit, isn't he? I know that's what you're gonna. Cause you know what? I'll listen to some Conway. I can stand some Conway Twitty, but that auto-tune mumble rap bullshit, I just can't, man. I can't. I'd rather listen to YouTube hip hop artists. Yeah, yeah. I said it. Wookie says, I gotta go get loud and won't be able to hear you, Second Street. I'm out. All right, well, thank you for being here, Wookie. I do greatly appreciate it. I know you've had a long night. You were on the live stream this morning as well. Tommy, welcome to the live stream. He says, how you doing? I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, well as well. You kind of got here at the end of the conversation as we are talking about Victoria Alonso. Take it over Marvel Studios. And, LB, you're doubting me, but I'm telling you guys, mark my words right here. I'm saying it right here. What is today? Saturday. Or no, it's Friday. It might be Saturday for some of you. Friday, right? It's Friday. September 13th, 2019. Trinity Peck, he said it right here on this show. Victoria Alonso is going to be in charge of Marvel Studios soon. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next year. But I guarantee you, in the not too far away future, Victoria Alonso will be the head of Marvel Studios and doing what Kevin Feige does and producing all the movies and all that. She's going to be that head producer. I can guarantee you that. I'm telling you. Please, don't think I'm kidding. Mark my words, I'm telling you. Write it down on the calendars that it's going to happen. Tommy says, yeah, I was waiting for hours on an upload. Screwed my viewing time up. Oh, yeah. 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 That'll do it, man. And you know what? I get tired of my computer sometimes, man. Sometimes when I'm creating videos, sometimes just it wants to be like a slow ass and take forever. I'm like, man, what's taking this thing so long, man? Hurry up. Hurry up and put this, man. Hurry up and get this video rendered, man. And then uploading. Man, sometimes I swear I've made short videos that take forever to upload too. I'm like, why is this little ad? Maybe So what I do a lot of times is before I go and edit a video, I'll reset my computer just to let it reset. Turn it off or things like that. Or before I'm getting ready to go my live stream, sometimes I'll shut my computer off for an hour or whatnot or half the day before I get on here, just so. And then sometimes it backfires too. Sometimes I fire it up, about a half hour out before the show, getting ready to start, before the live stream, and then I get on there and the computer just doesn't want to work. Everything is going wrong, and you're sitting there for like the next 20-30 minutes trying to figure everything out, and it's just being buggy as hell and acting up, and it don't want to work, and you're just like, if you were my only computer and I had the money, to invest in a new computer, I would take a bet to this fucking screen right now. Yeah. I've got a Mac. So, believe me, if there's anybody that feels your pain more than me, they probably own a Mac too. Because a Mac, like when you get a Mac, like you have to buy it completely as souped up as you want it. Because there's not a like for mine, I could upgrade the RAM in it. I upgraded the RAM to as much as I could. Did that. But then again, I've got most of my hard disk taken over here, taken up, and I got to delete some stuff and things like that. And I've been working on that. But most of these things, most of these devices, whether it's an iPhone, your phones, your computers, and stuff like that, it seems like once you push the memory over a certain amount, like it's just gonna act like that no matter what. Like you got to keep it low and keep plenty of free memory out there, just like memory storage out there. Otherwise, it's just like they just don't want to work for crap. Yeah, and plus, Tommy, maybe you need to stay away from some of them websites. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what websites you need to be staying away from, dude. You sicko. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. Come on, dude. Well, obviously I'm talking about like we got this covered and things like that. You thought I was talking about something else? Nah, dude. Nah. He says, "Yeah, I swear my computer gets the hiccups as slow as hell." Batman. I'm Batman. But anyway, that's all I have for tonight, folks. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, mark my words, man. I'm telling you, Victoria Alonso, she's gonna be taking over. She's gonna be taking over one of these days. But thank you all so much for being here on the Trailer Park Live. I do greatly appreciate every single time that you guys show up to sit here and watch me flap my gums for over an hour. I try to do this show about 90 minutes, and make sure you guys tune in. I had Stevie J's reviews here on the show earlier in the week. He was on my morning movie chat, and we had a really good time. Stevie J is a great guy. He came on and we did a video talking about movies and stuff. We were talking about comedy, like how some of our greatest dramatic actors really started coming up doing comedy, like comedic movies, and like John Candy coming up like through like God, what was that SCTV that he was on? Those different types of shows. It was a great one that we did on Tuesday. You should go check it out. But Stevie J's Reviews is actually getting ready to do a live debate with the weekly rant. It's going to be like 2, 3 in the morning here, where I'm at here on the West Coast, where they're going to be debating about the not the Last Jedi. Yeah, the Last Jedi. Rather well, I can't remember what it's called. The Last Jedi, I think it sucks, changed my mind, or something like that. You should definitely go check out his stream in the morning and watch that. I can guarantee you it's going to be good. If I'm not up for it, I'm going to catch the replay on it. I can guarantee it's going to be it'll be a pretty good one, because these are both some pretty cool dudes. The Weekly Rant, he's got a pretty cool channel, pretty cool dude. And Stevie J's Reviews, I'm sure many of us here already know Stevie. You guys should go check that out. But I've got some other videos I'm gonna get edited and uploaded here over the weekend, and probably get some more shot. And if you guys know anybody else who I could bring on to the morning movie chats that you think would be good to have some of these hour-long chats with, let me know. I also did reach out to Fanzine to see if we do a live stream with him sometime soon. He was nice and brought me onto his channel one day. During I believe that was his first live stream, and we had a pretty good conversation there. I also want to get some of my other brothers to come here on the channel and do some talking, just talking about some different stuff. Lonely Banter, Damaj and I, Abu Nas, Drunk 3PO, Fatal J. I want to get all my brothers on part of the Dark Council to come here on my channel and just discuss some different things here. So hopefully we can get that done very soon. I also got, I need to schedule a time to get Young Rippa here on the channel. He said he's more than willing to do it, to come here and talk about some different things. And hopefully I'll get him on here soon, because, I wanted to kind of talk about some of the things I talked about tonight and see what he thinks about that, because I can guarantee you he probably thinks the same thing. Like, yeah, Victoria Alonso, she going to be in charge of shit pretty quick. Almost guaranteed. I can guarantee you, but I think that would be a good one, and also get his insight on some, just more of the comics industry and things like that. And I also want to get reached out to Rod the Rican. In case you guys don't know, just a Rican in his comics, I reached out to him to get him onto the live stream as well. Because I went on his channel one day. He was a super cool guy. We had a great conversation just talking about comics. And I want to get him here on the channel and, bring some more comic content here on my channel. I need to get Ryan from Nerdy Blurb TV here on my channel as well. Ryan is the guy who done my intro that I use in all my videos and the outro. Absolutely great guy. I need to get Comic Man Jake back on my channel. And there's plenty of other people that I need to get here and do some more live streams with, because it's definitely a lot better when you have more than one person sharing their point of views. Although, you guys can definitely see that I can definitely go on about this stuff forever. I can keep flapping my gums and not shut up. I mean, it's already been an hour and 42 minutes, right? Don't think that I can't do it. Some of my first Trailer Park Lives that I'd done at the beginning of the year were some of my longest ones, and had no audience. Nobody was watching them. And I went on for about 2 hours in one of them. One of them was like an hour and a half, and they were, like I said, I could do this. I could do this. So don't think I can't. But yeah, been reaching out to some people, try to get them here on the channel. The hardest thing is getting people's schedules to line up. We're all busy. We all got busy lives. And if there's anybody else out there, or if you yourself would like to come on my show and have anything that you want to discuss and talk about, make sure that you reach out to me. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Second Street Marvel. Or actually just at Second Street Marvel. There's no the there. But again, I'm Trinity. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel today. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And the reason you want to do that, and make sure you leave a comment in this video or any other videos, because as soon as I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a copy of Alita Battle Angel and a copy of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. And to get entered into that, you got to be subscribed, and make sure that you leave a comment in any of my videos until I hit 500 subscribers. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel today. You guys have a great rest of your night. Tara, awesome that you're getting a tattoo. Hope you have fun doing that. And we'll see you all in the next video. Later.